Danforth.
Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, in response to a question from the New Democrat member from New Westminster, Port Coquitlam, the government said the following. The onus is on the government of Afghanistan to live up to its responsibilities for human rights, including the rights of women. If there is any wavering on this point, this will create serious problems and be a serious disappointment for us. Can the government tell us today how it's going to express the disappointment of the Canadian people with regard to these laws that attack women? And will it tell us what real consequences there are going to be for the government of Afghanistan, and will the mission and its purpose be reconsidered in this context?
Honourable Minister of International Trade.
Mr. Speaker, our Prime Minister has expressed serious concerns with this law, Afghanistan law. Our Minister of Foreign Affairs has done that also and continues to do that. The status of the law itself is still unclear, even among the Afghan legislators themselves. But what is not unclear, Mr. Speaker, what is very clear is that we are concerned with the provisions in this law as we see them, and we are calling unequivocally upon the government in Afghanistan to make sure they live up to their obligations, their international treaty obligations for human rights, especially human rights for women. We're very clear on this, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member for Toronto Danforth.
Cette loi donne tous les droits aux hommes concernant la garde d'enfants, le divorce et l'héritage, et on permet le voile. C'est une atteinte très, très grave aux droits des femmes en Afghanistan, Monsieur le Président. 116 de nos soldats sont morts pour changer les choses en Afghanistan. Comment le gouvernement peut dire que nos soldats sont morts pour protéger les droits des femmes quand Hamid Karzai fait adopter cette loi? Si l'Afghanistan va de l'avant avec cette loi, est-ce que le gouvernement est préparé à reconsidérer son approche en Afghanistan, oui ou non?
L'honorable ministre du Commerce international.
Speaker, our Prime Minister has indicated, and we continue to indicate, that this could have serious implications. Other countries also that are helping the people in Afghanistan have expressed concern. Mr. Speaker, we are being very clear on this. What we know about this law causes us serious concerns. We're calling on the government of Afghanistan to live up to their obligations, to clarify their position and where they stand, to make sure that the human rights of all people, including and especially in this instance the human rights of women, are protected to the full extent of their obligations, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for New Westminster Coquitlam.
This government has ridiculed anyone in this House who dared to question what was going on in Afghanistan. The government has said over and over again that the underpinning of this mission was to defend women's rights and to provide education for girls. Mr. Speaker, after all the sacrifices, after all that Canadian families have put on the line, could this really end up being what we're fighting for in Afghanistan? Will the minister stand up immediately in the House today and tell us he'll take decisive action to force Hamid Karzai?
The Honourable Minister of International Trade.
Mr. Speaker, with due respect, we've been very clear on this. And I have to say, I don't really appreciate a question being raised about what our soldiers have been standing for, Mr. Speaker.
Right.
They've been standing for the protection of human rights. They've been standing for the protection of women. They've been standing for the protection of children. They have literally been giving their lives for that, Mr. Speaker. That's why we have. That's why we